Let me ask you something. Have you ever read an email from shore and before you even finished it, or even sometimes you saw from whom it came from, you already felt annoyed? You haven't replied yet, but inside, you're already thinking, they don't understand what's happening here. Now, let me flip that question. Have you ever sent a message from shore and wondered why the ship is not responding the way you expected? That space in between, that's the silent gap. In this episode, we will unravel the silent gap, why it happens, and how it happens. You're listening to Seafarer's Way, and this is Captain Rommel. This podcast is not about blaming ship or shore. It's about understanding why good people still misunderstand each other. Today, we talk about that invisible space, the one that creates frustration, silence, and tension between ship and shore. Let's be clear about one thing. Most problems in shipping are not caused by bad people. They are caused by missing context. Message was sent but the full story is not. In my experience at sea, I prevent misunderstanding and sending email back and forth by providing all the available information that concerns my message. Typical example when an accident happens on board, message that is sent is as follows. Dear Sir, please be informed that I had an accident on board and will be diverting to the nearest port. Instead, Dear Sir, please be informed that an accident happened on board. Bosun slipped on deck and lost consciousness. He was taken to the hospital on board and currently being monitored by our medical officer. All vitals are normal. Medico is already contacted and advised that Bosun must be evacuated. Heading now to Port ETA. Kindly inform all concerned parties. Ship and shore do not operate in the same environment. Yet, we expect the same urgency, the same understanding, and the same reaction. And when that doesn't happen, emails become shorter, instructions become sharper, and silence slowly becomes normal. That silence, that's where problems grow. Let's talk about life on board. When an email from shore arrives, it rarely arrives at a good time. It arrives during cargo operations, during watchkeeping, during maintenance, during crew rest period. The ship is never idle, and every instruction, even a simple one, has a ripple effect on board. It may mean rearranging watches, it may mean extending working hours, it may mean compromising rest. Most of the time, we forget one important aspect in operating a ship: time. Time varies in location. Ship sailing around the world and the shore office in different location, different time zones. One part sleeping and the other part is awake. And yet, we expect immediate response from emails. One rule: if there is something urgent or important, call. Otherwise, expect email on the next working hours. Often, the ship does not explain these difficulties, not because it doesn't want to, but because it doesn't want to sound like it's complaining. So, the ship absorbs, adjusts, and keeps going until one day it can't anymore. Now let's step ashore. From shore, things look different. One person ashore may be handling 5, 10, or even more vessels. There are audits to prepare for, deadlines to meet, principals or ship owners to answer to. Emails are sent quickly, not to pressure, but to keep things moving. What looks like a simple request ashore may already be the fifth urgent message of the day on board. Emails coming from charterers asking for an update or response to a voyage instruction, emails from agents, asking for arrival documents, and a lot more. The problem is not intention. The problem is visibility. Ship and shore rarely see what the other is juggling. This is where misunderstandings grow. Instructions are sent without explanation. Sometimes, or most of the time, we think that the ship or shore knows what we had in mind. Reports are submitted without feedback. The ship think it was not important after all the efforts to complete the report. Questions are answered with silence. The ship feels unheard. Shore feels ignored. And slowly, communication stops being about understanding and becomes about compliance. People stop asking questions. People stop explaining realities. People do only what is required to survive the day. That is not safety culture. That is quiet tension. Let's talk about what this silent gap really costs. It costs morale, it costs trust, it costs initiative. Seafarers stop speaking up because they feel it won't change anything. Shore stops engaging because they feel resistance instead of cooperation. A safety item requested but was not delivered until inspection came that resulted to a non-conformity, or until an accident happened that could have been prevented. And later, when something finally goes wrong, everyone asks the same question. Why didn't anyone say anything earlier? But the truth is, people did. They just stopped being heard. Let me say this honestly. I've been on both sides, and I have made mistakes on both. I've misunderstood shore, and I've underestimated ship realities. Being at sea, I should have sent a reminder or a follow-up. Being ashore, I should have checked the time difference and port that the ship operates. That's why this conversation matters. Communication in shipping is not about sending more messages. It is about understanding realities, both ship and shore. The ship does not need fewer instructions, it needs more context. Shore does not need more reports, it needs clearer insight. The silent gap closes when both sides pause and remember. We are not operating against each other. We are operating for the same ship. If this episode resonated with you, follow and subscribe to Seafarer's Way on Spotify and Apple Podcast. This is Captain Rommel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next watch.